Alright, it's time. This is it. The final trial. This is the end of this game. Well, I mean, technically there's 2 more games in the trilogy, but shh. That's another time.
Yes.
That's for the future one day.
That's why it's called a trilogy.
Yeah. Alright, here we go.
When it's multiple, is it called an anthology? Because I see that word sometimes, anthology.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe?
I mean, it's not important right now.
It's very important.
Yeah.
We should not look it up, but spend 30 minutes discussing it nevertheless.
Yeah.
Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't look up what anthology meant. I didn't mean to get you into trouble.
Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours.
Yeah.
I haven't been interrupting anything, pals. Oh, I guess I am. I'll come back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? It's a really important piece of evidence. Maybe I should live with that.
Yeah. You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty.
Weren't you fired, though?
No, well, he wasn't. Hang on, was he?
Yeah, Gantz
He was
fired
told to
him.
get out. Oh, yeah, Gantz.
Because he went into the office.
Oh, yeah. So you've got a ton of free time, Gumshoe.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you call me here. I've seen happy people at funerals.
I take it Lana's having you run errands again?
Let me tell you this. This is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there was a real break in today's trial.
Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day.
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
Rule 2. You do not talk about evidence law.
Yeah. His name is Robert Paulson. Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
You know, you're really bad at your job. Maybe you should study that.
Yeah. The chief prosecutor has wanted me to give you a message.
A message?
She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book.
What's it got? A little cute Sherlock Holmes
It looks.
budgie on it.
I thought it was like a picture book. I
Yeah,
thought it was a storybook.
It does look like a picture
I thought it was a storybook.
Lana's just like, I don't want you to get me off of this. So here's a book for 3-year-olds. Like to study this, recite this word for word.
Yeah, this might help. The Chronicles of Narnia. Yeah.
Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read in the 5 minutes that I have before the next part of the trial.
Yeah, there's a really cool film called Journey to the West, and there's a book a guy has, and he's this has got all the secrets of the world, right? But it's like 300 nursery rhymes for children. But he's like, trust me, I swear. He's like, I swear this is a good book. She's like, this is BS. She rips it up, right? Tears it to shreds, glues it back together. But the book's completely different. When it's rearranged, it's the Buddha Sutra. It's like the holy grail of all knowledge and enlightenment.
Wow.
Like 300 nursery rhymes for children. It's a really funny scene in the movie.
Let's see. So, rules for submitting evidence. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Fair enough.
Right.
I feel like we already knew this, but
yeah.
But sure.
Rule 2 is going to be contentious because they'll say, "Oh, that's SL9 evidence." This is a different case.
there's
you know what I mean?
This I think might be like one of the things.
Yeah.
Because in the comments, I was told, I believe from what I can understand, it's never made clear what this actually is, but it's not actually technically relevant. It was just given to Edgeworth because he needed to file it. And I believe it's the screwdriver from the very first case that you joined. And that is also kind of like mildly hinted at by the fact that the bellboy was here. Like,
oh, that's the screwdriver we found in the drawer.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Anyway. Oh, also, the entire trilogy came out before the DS version did. So, like...
Right.
I'm genuinely curious because I don't because all the games, every case in this game, presumably besides this one, was made for a Game Boy Advance. Does it just mean case 5 out of like 15 or whatever just randomly has a bunch of gimmicks that no other case has? So weird.
Yeah.
So weird. I understand why, but that's bizarre that they would do that. But anyway.
All that's left now is the Chief Prosecutor's sentence.
That's where you're wrong, Detective.
Yeah? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do?
Destroy the police department from the inside out.
Your credibility been all but ruined with these forged evidence you were unaware of. And when Sky found out she unwittingly caused a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal.
You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. Regardless, is she still, aiding, a killer? Because she moved the body, right?
It would really depend on the circumstances.
I guess, regardless, that's not what she's on trial for. That would be a different case, right? I guess.
Yeah.
So.
You'd be on trial for obstructing justice or something.
Yeah.
It's a bit like how you have a course for slander and a course for libel.
Mm.
Like they can be related to each other, but they're different cases altogether.
Yeah. Alright.
What? Don't give a shit.
What was this about libel and slander? I've never heard those words before.
I just arrest liquor store people who rob liquor stores.
And apparently many murderers in the past 4 months. But that aside, and we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. I mean, if we're right in assuming it is all Gant, how much has he done over the decades? What? How much is this gonna blow everything out of the water? Also, given that this is a DS exclusive thing, in the original trilogy, whatever the ramifications of this are won't come up at all until the next trilogy, which is so weird. But whatever.
Yeah.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Cheers, appreciate it. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness, but, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have,
struck a bargain? You think I may have manipulated the witnesses?
I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and,
Very Your Honor.
Solution.
That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses.
What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. And then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness.
Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over.
And we're going to save.
Yes. Thank you for reminding us to...
Are you telling me that I actually get to choose? Oh, man, yeah, I do. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. The time's finally come out to bring out the real murderer. Okay. So, I mean, I presume it's Gant. If it turns out it's not, that's a surprise. But, I mean, yeah, let's do it then. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it.
As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True. Alright. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of joke? I was on my way to lunch. Your name, occupants. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh?
Please, Mr. Gant.
Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police.
Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony.
Oh, righto. What's with the grim face?
First, let's clear up this SL9 incident.
Oh, you mean that when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
There are still some things unaccounted for.
Oh? Like what?
Like the role you played in all of this.
Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Sure, take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to.
What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify.
Of course, such an action carries with it a certain stream froze.
Risks.
Certain risks. Yeah, it froze on the R. Hang on. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you.
Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony. Okay. Let's see what you've got to say.
As I recall, Nina and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, he's pulling the weirdest face for me right now because the stream froze.
Wow, okay.
And then it sped up and he pulled his hair at like 100 times a second. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery.
Okay. Is that when Dark was arrested?
He was lying on the floor unconscious.
Yeah, that is a rough way to go.
When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head.
So she pretty much nearly killed 2 people. I mean, impressive. Fair
Yeah.
play. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. Alright, let's see. So, let's press you on this stuff. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day.
Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm her workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. Probably what spooked Drake and made him run away like that.
Dark.
I mean, Dark. That's the second or third time I've done that.
It does. To be fair, Drake is a much more recognizable name.
That's probably what spooked Darkwing Duck. Was the defendant Lana Sky also present in the room? Quite. At least there, Dark ran for it.
Okay. So the 2 of you ran immediately after him, right?
That's right. But Dark made it to the elevator first.
So Dark went up. He decided to go up, and he didn't.
No, it was already selected.
Oh, I see. I see.
They explained like he just made it, but it was going up
Right.
anyway. He just had to get. His priority.
Right.
Because if he had time to, he would have obviously gone down.
Yeah. I
So
see,
he could
I see.
escape the building, but he
Yeah.
didn't have that luxury. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
So Neil and I split up. And went upstairs. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that? The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went into his heart, though. He's your partner. I have to show
Yeah.
some respect.
That's
Like, that's not funny.
Yeah, it's not. Jeez. Okay. How
You know
did he...
what? It's really convenient that there was a power outage when he's in the lift. Or
how-
was he in the lift?
Didn't he
when
just
the-
say he was in the lift? How did he get to his office if the power... How long did it take for the power to come back?
If he went downstairs.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
no,
he went downstairs,
went-
yeah.
Yeah, he went downstairs, but that doesn't mean he was in the lift though. He just went downstairs.
Yeah. Could you tell us what you saw?
It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor together, all tangled together.
Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor.
Yes, apparently it hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those 2 poor girls.
Lana and Emma.
Lana was cradling. Come on, Discord. Cradling. Looking back at it now.
Cradling Emma in her arms. So, yeah.
She must have already known what her sister had done.
She had already arranged the crime scene. Alright, so... How can you know that?
Because of the victim's body. It had already... What is going on? So it seems. So that means...
Jesus, I don't know why Discord is being like this.
So that means... You found the body near Lana's desk?
Oh my god, it's not loading for you, is it?
Well, just then it played up. That's right. Discord was fucking up. Right-ho. I think you said earlier. It was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor.
Yes.
Anyway.
Okay, nothing to do with the forgery. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable, no matter the case. No matter the circumstance.
Is that really...
No matter the...
Yeah, that was it. Is that really how it all went down?
Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you could stare at thing, you'd be better off staring at the court. The court. I need to know, Edgeworth. What is he better staring at?
Record.
Records. Always the smooth talker, Worthy.
Right. Okay.
I beg to differ again. Always the smooth call connection, Worthy.
But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. Okay, here's where the fun begins. So I'm gonna save because this is it. So, oh cool. Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene, and she had nothing to do with the forgery. Okay. Nothing to do with the forgery. Okay, so
that feels key.
Yeah, I think that's the words. It's not the ID. It's not the trophy. It's not this knife because it's not related to that. It's not this. It's not this. It's not the autopsy report. This is all related to this current case. That was found. Yeah, that was.
Well, the tip of the blade was
in him, wasn't it?
But in who? In
Neil, I think. Because Neil was the one who was stabbed. So.
Right. So who put the tip in? Neil.
Yeah, but I don't understand how this would prove it would be him. What does it say specifically? It's just a knife. Oh right, it did have different victims. I think Dark had used it on other people, so that's irrelevant, I guess. That's not it. That's technically helpful, but it's not related to 2 years ago. That's not it. It's not that. It's not the glove, I don't think. The jar.
Well, that's just in his office. It's not much to do with him per se. It's just in his office.
What if Neil didn't write that?
Actually, why would Neil, who's protecting Emma?
Yeah, because we thought that's
Right.
a bit. Like I mentioned, like that seems a bit harsh. Like I know it's an accident, but like surely you wouldn't blame Emma for that.
That just seems weird. Look, why would you prioritize? You're trying to help. You're struggling, and you're trying to help a girl. She intervenes.
Yeah.
I need to write her name on the jar so everyone knows it's her. Like that.
Yeah.
Neil, is that really something Marshall would do?
Yeah, I
if
don't
he's
know.
anything like his brother, I mean, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe Gant wrote it. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if Gant did, but I don't know if that's easily provable. Well, certainly not in this case. I mean, we could try it, but I don't think it'd be right. This is not relevant yet. This is not that. Is there anything in here that says, like, victims, child data? He was the investigator, but that doesn't help. Or he was executive investigator. It doesn't do anything. Death from punches heart and lung. Knife tip was in the wound. Yeah, list of evidence. I wish we could look at the evidence. It feels really important. And then there was this. Now, it was found in his safe.
A piece of cloth.
But I don't know what of. Why? What is it? What is the cloth? Why does it have her prints? Why has he kept it? I mean, it's either this or the jar, right? If I'm wrong, I'll just load. Let's give it a go.
Why would he keep... Yeah, why would he keep that?
If you really had nothing to do with the forgery, then how do you explain this? What's that? And what's that on it? A handprint? Chief Gant, your explanation, please.
I don't know, you tell me, son.
Huh?
My dear Righto. Don't you know the second rule of evidence law?
Uh-oh, not this again. Evidence law?
Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me, how is that rag relevant to this trial?
It appears the defense was not prepared. I guess it's too early to use this piece of evidence. Please accept my profound apologies, Chief. Do you mind giving the defense another chance?
Well, okay, I'll do it just this once, but only because you asked, Fudgy.
Oh, thank you. I assure you the defense is terribly sorry. Sorry I didn't nail you. I didn't actually lose any health. That's nice.
Yeah.
Alright, let's try the vase. Or jar. Yeah, let's see. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. I was like, alright, go on. But I'm afraid that this is a claim you cannot back up. Oh, okay, I think we might have something.
Explain yourself.
Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example. Oh, that's that blue badger you showed us earlier. A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that...
Yeah, it was in his safe. Oh my god.
But the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this?
Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy.
So, you admit to it then? That you were involved in the forgery?
Who, me? Or do you mean you?
Me? Why would I have anything to do with that?
Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. That's
That's called slavery, Righto.
That's like the least of his problems because jail is more likely. But
yeah.
Yes. Well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene.
My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together.
Okay, good. Made it past stage 1 of 10, probably.
Let's see, what is it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. They were found after Dark was convicted. Then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in forgery. The crime wouldn't me out anyway.
Okay. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol.
You do understand that I'm the chief of police, right? There will be consequences.
Oh. Scary.
In time, I would charge. Make the stand.
My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know, it's my daughter's birthday. No, it's
Yeah. It's my son's bar mitzvah, and, you know, I've been thinking about it for ages now. All right, Aji, in return.
Interesting.
Though.
Even though it's clearly Gant saying it, it says judge. That's wrong.
All right,
It's a typo.
what? Yeah, that's weird. What?
It's a typo.
All right, Aji, in return, though.
It's a typo.
It's Gant saying it, but
Yeah.
it's Judge. What?
Yeah!
That's so spooky.
I know. That place, right? Huh? What are these guys
Even
telepathic?
Phoenix is confused.
It's like, what is the text box wrong? I don't understand.
Yeah, why,
It's so bizarre.
why does he call himself Aji? Like,
Yeah. Alright, well, let's start this. So, I'd appreciate if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations.
Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that.
What? I'll have you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped... Mr. Wright, what are you saying? We're gonna have to prosecute you for that. I mean, I did nothing of the sort.
Yes. You can't prove you didn't carry in evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Rido's prints were found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal.
Never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. I mean, he's not wrong. Did break into his safe.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery.
If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery...
I'm not through speaking yet, Rido. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered.
Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation?
It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could suddenly materialize the day after Doc was sentenced.
Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient?
Right. Chief is talking about a possibility, so long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time.
Tell me something I don't know.
Come on now, Righto. Think about it.
How can you look me in the eye and say that? You were a born criminal! Look at you.
Because I'm innocent.
Ah, I say otherwise, so I guess we're at a standstill, aren't we?
In my view, the Jedi are evil.
Yeah.
Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil?
I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Yeah, murder is definitely not. Like, it wasn't... It clearly he was just trying to protect... She was just trying to protect both herself and Neil, not realising that it was actually Neil in the first place. Like, like she's 14. Like,
Yeah.
bless her. Like, that's so...
And given the circumstances, like, the context is important.
Yeah, like, there's no motive of, like, malicious intent in terms of, like, it's clearly just like, oh, push the person with the knife away, let's run, kind of deal. Like, unintentionally, like, you're not gonna think about the fact that there's a huge knife in the corner, and why is it even there? Like, surely that should have been blunt. Like, just...
Yeah, like... Well, I mean, he has an organ in his office. He's got all kinds of weird stuff in his office, so...
Yeah.
How do you...
Okay, okay, so let's see. Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all of this.
Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit?
That would, of course, be the position you have, Chief of Police. Oh. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive.
Oh, he wasn't Chief back then, was he? Alright. Well, that's a good one.
Uh-huh.
Do you really think I'm that incompetent?
What do you mean?
Even without that kiss, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. But Lana could have been
true.
chief. Yeah, Lana could have, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that true, Edgeworth?
Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway. Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There. It's out in the open now. Archie, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little?
By all means, please do. Interesting.
I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me.
Interesting. Let's press you on that. Nothing in it for you?
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for you, you'd better think again. You're right, you don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people, that's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy.
Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Point out accomplice. Well, we're gonna save. There's gotta have been an accomplice. Because it's there. It's always there for a reason. So... True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Right, yes.
Blackmail Lana.
Yeah, because Lana would step down and go to prosecutor.
Yeah.
Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. You fucking moron. I love the judge so much, but I hate him. That is not what I mean, you daft old coot. What I'm talking about... Very well then. What is it you mean? Who's this person you believe Chief Gant may have held forged evidence?
Yes.
I believe Lana!
That Damon Gant is as warm as apple pie.
Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye, the defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed Chief Prosecutor at the Prosecutor's Office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all of this?
He would be able to use the Chief Prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
Do you mean to tell me that despite the Chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh, for fuck's sake, my man.
It's a figure of speech. Easy mistake.
Oh, I see. I understand.
I've got no strings to hold me down.
Who's been puppet in the sense of... Admit it, Chief! You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive, to appoint her as Chief Prosecutor so you could control her.
Righto, my boy, you have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something.
What?
Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing?
Lana? She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Unless... that is also what happened in this incident.
This incident? Which one would that be?
Of course I'm talking about... the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The Chief Prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her.
And this is where we found this immediately. The blade, the autopsy of the blade length is going to come into play.
Yeah. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Order! Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the Chief of Police of blackmail and murder? That's... it's impossible. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language.
It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now.
It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the Chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question.
Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. Question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Oh no. Okay.
The murder of Detective Goodman. So... Detective Goodman showed up dead. Like in the car.
If it's this. I don't know if we have anything concrete that proves it's him. This tells us that it didn't happen directly at like 5:15 like it was claimed. happens within an hour and a half, and we've always thought that was weird. It also tells us it was a 4.5 inch blade. This is a 4-inch blade, so it is not right.
So the SL9 blade. That is nothing to do with Bruce Goodman. But
it was.
Did Bruce Goodman steal it, or?
I don't know. It was. We found it in the car, in Edgeworth's car, the muffler. But I don't recall why. It was found at the crime scene. So but it was part of the SL9 incident. I think Goodman had it because he was depositing evidence, because it was the switchover.
Right. Okay.
I think because it couldn't have been used. It couldn't have been used to kill him.
Marshall was disguised, wasn't he?
Yeah, Marshall was disguised as him, but this couldn't have been used as evidence. Because it couldn't have been the thing to kill him because the blood on there is not deep enough. It only is on the tip, and the existing tip was not found with this. This was already broken off. Right. So it can't have been that. It's not going to be that.
Okay. Oh, the phone's Phone's going. Hang on. I'll be really quick. Also, you know Edgeworth's knife. Whose blood is it on there?
I believe it is. It says
this is a victim's blood.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not. There's not enough blood, right? It's such a small amount in comparison to what it should be.
Was that the knife Lana used?
Yeah, she used it for something, but I can't remember what. It was just to place the body elsewhere, I thought. I don't know. I'm going with this, and we'll see if it's right. Because I can't figure out what else it is. Oh, that's wrong. Well, Chief. Oh, dear.
As long as Wright over here is tossing out things regardless of their relevance. Mind if I toss something too, Archie?
Myself? Do you mind if I do?
Yes. Getting kind of bored here. This shoe should do nicely. I'll chuck it right at you.
You always were quite the joker, weren't you? Oops. It looks like he's going to put assault and battery of a judge on his permanent record as well. Looks like I got it wrong. Oops me. Maybe there's some boots to the head will knock some sense into you.
I know it's hard with all that's gone on during this trial. But try to think back to what happened in the evidence room 4 days ago.
Okay. Now that you mention it, we did find something during yesterday's investigation. Something that proves Gant entered that room. Oh! Oh!
The 777.
Of course.
It was his safe code too.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
I forgot
was his
about
safe
that.
code also.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. So, fair enough. Thank you, Edgeworth. I see. Alright then, let's see what Mr. Wright's got. And it better be good. Okay, so let me go to the list of people. There it is. Found it. This is the ID card list. Yes, it's the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 777-7777.
Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number.
It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 777-7777. 7 sevens, just to be... did you get that? The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. The man is an idiot! Chief Gant. Oh, this music. Okay. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. We're cooking. This is it. Order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say?
Nothing. Defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law.
$100. Good job. Well done. We've solved it.
Yes. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you. About the use of this ID card.
Chief Gant, so you admit it? You went to the evidence room? On the day of the crime?
What about it? I'm the chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want.
I can piss in someone's locker if I like to. I do frequently, by the way.
Yes. Sorry, Gumshoe. Tell me.
You found that shit in your safe. That was me.
Yes. Oh, Jesus Christ, really? When you entered the room...
I don't remember doing that. I mean, my safe's quite high up. I wouldn't be able to really squat in there, but I guess I must have done it last week. I can't believe it.
When you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room.
Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he?
Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days.
You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant, I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting?
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Shows proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. I think I know what it is. Is it this?
Goodman's lost item report.
Yeah.
Can only be submitted to the Chief of Police.
Yeah.
Which is, well, we're looking at him.
Yeah. Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Let's go with it. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime.
Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it.
So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the Chief of Police.
Yet you are in possession of the report. Which means you can't be sure if he filled it.
Oh, he filled it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room.
I accompanied him?
There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room.
Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman.
Exactly. But wait, the Chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card.
Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it a good... it would have found on his body.
Oh my god! Wow! Wow! Chief Gant, you didn't just explode, did you? I think you did.
Atlantis, you know, Atlantis when the guy turns blue.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you look back to normal. Oh, good for you. You seem to have went through an ordeal in the last 5 seconds. Are you okay there, Gant? The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course.
Right, she's on the hook.
Yeah.
So she's like, do this favour for
Yeah.
me. Right, this paints the picture. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office's parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony.
Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal.
Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so.
I wonder if he asked Meekins. Meekins went in twice.
Right. And he doesn't know, he probably doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was a useless clue, just taking up space. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. I would like to save right now.
Yeah.
And also take a screenshot, apparently.
And also, yeah, save a screenshot of this moment.
Yeah. To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this.
The blue badger.
Yeah, the blue badger. I mean, imagine if it was.
Wait, so where was Goodman murdered? In the evidence room?
Yes. Maybe he did use the blue badger.
Oh, I was just taking the piss. Maybe he did move the blue badger in front of the camera.
Yeah, I think so.
I was just maybe I'm right.
Because it's not asking it's not asking did he use an accomplice. It's asking how did he move the victim's body. And
yeah.
Okay. Sure, that took a while. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe. Let's try it. Well?
Oh my god.
I think you've lost your fucking mind, Righto.
Well, Righto, I think you're that's crazy. Maybe you later. Your dead body, Mr. Wright. Is this a win or a lose?
I think it's a lose. I don't help you dispose of it, you fucking moron. What are you talking about? You can stay at the PD. Okay. There's only one possible way he could have moved it. I mean, he moved it through the boot of the car. But I mean, I don't know what you're asking from me exactly. Am I just gonna? Is it just the ID card record? Just because it proves that
he can interfere with. Maybe.
But Edgeworth would have come in before Meekins, though. Ooh, that's interesting.
But Meekins goes in twice.
Yeah, sure, but surely Edgeworth would have seen it. Oh, it's this. It's this.
Oh, it's
the screwdriver.
Office by
It means that Edgeworth has to go back to the office, and he's not at his car at the time he takes this.
Okay, that's right.
Whoever said it's not relevant in the comments, well done. I believed you. Well done. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver?
I think you have a screw loose, Mr. Wright.
But what does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here?
It's here because... I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office.
But you did. Because Chief Gant asked you to.
You mean I...
The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yes. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye. Order! Order! What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite.
It is the photo of the body being taken from the trunk.
Chief Gant, please say something.
I believe... your time's up.
My time's up.
Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special.
But the cross-examination isn't finished yet.
Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons.
Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now.
What? This is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman, that's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now.
Well,
Lanbo's body. If so, then show your proof and get it over with.
I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police, and you want to save your game again? What are you doing? This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright. Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body. Do I have any concrete proof? Do I? Let's find out.
I've no proof yet. What does that mean?
Can't let him just squirm his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor. I do have such evidence. Wink. Then please hurry up and present it. Just remember, it better prove Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of a doubt. Okay.
We don't have it, do we? I can't think of anything that's concrete enough.
I wonder if it's this? It's not the actual murder weapon?
Traces of victim's blood.
Traces
No
of victim's
prints.
blood, but it's clearly not.
Well, usually in Edgeworth's toolbox.
Yeah.
So
it's
who
like,
could have gotten it out?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not the right blade's length. I know it doesn't say that here, but I know it isn't. And it was brought up at one point. So that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, is there anything else? Not Blue Badger. It's not this. It's not. I mean, it might be that. It might be connected. It's not that. It's not the phone. Can we look at actually? Could it be? Is there any way to see other calls? There would be a call from Gant, probably at roughly 5:40.
Okay.
Is that a thing we can do?
Yeah, but there is a phone in the parking lot, but
It was broken.
I mean,
That's why
oh
she called
yeah,
on this.
well remembered.
Make them shoe, no. This was just the piece of evidence for some reason. Any card, set. Screwdriver. Don't really think this is relevant specifically, but I don't know. Marshal's fingerprints doesn't really matter. If it turns out we look at the video, security video, and like for one frame, Gant's there, like I'm gonna be livid. I'm gonna go with the knife. I don't know what else it could be, unless it's. I don't think this is gonna be used at some point, but it's not now. So I'm going with the knife. I'm gonna see what happens.
It just bears her prints. That's it.
Yeah, it's gonna be useful at some point. I wonder if Emma didn't do it, and that's gonna be the way we prove it. But I don't know how. But let's try this. So, what exactly is this evidence? It's proof as to whether or not it's as to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate the chief's guilt. I'll let you be the judge. But I am the judge. Oh, right. Well, what do you think, Your Honor?
I think it stinks.
What I think, Mr. Wright, is I'm going to be late for lunch. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Alright, it's not that then. I believe we have to say no. I think it's no. There's no showing evidence. I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence.
See, RG?
In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What?
Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, righto. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Archie, I'll leave the rest to you. I'm going to fade out of existence now.
I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. What?
Lady Luck, maybe we should have a word with her.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. Oh, Coffer Queen?
No.
I don't know.
No.
Oh, we haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony.
A lady who knows the truth. I have a witness.
In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony.
But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify.
There's still someone else. One witness can answer all the questions. In this trial, someone right in this very room.
Mr. Edgeworth? Who is this person?
Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today.
Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls
okay,
forth.
It's gonna be Lana.
Yeah. Time to bring out Lana. The defendant? Miss Lana Skye. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 PM on February 21st. Her task, to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor.
Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in
Hold on.
Huh? Oh, Chief Gant. I thought you were going to eat.
Listen good, Lana.
He's talking to Lana?
I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there'll be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder.
Oh, this isn't good.
Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. All right, then.
I'm going to go have the lobster!
Yes. I've got a lunch date to meet. Bring out the dancing lobsters.
Maybe you should have some cow, because you sure are one, you fucking okay.
Yes.
Okay, if there
Maybe you
aren't
should
any
have
further-
cow because I smell bullshit.
There aren't any further objections. This court is now in recess. Fun.
February 25th. What's that supposed to be? Groundhog Day? I don't know. It's in February. Looks like we managed to stay in the game.
Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth.
That chief, he's something else, eh, pals?
Detective Gumshoe.
Yeah, I'm not a detective anymore.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
Don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. I'm gonna be at your office. Oh, what? I was gonna make up some bullshit like I want to be a fishmonger or something. I don't know.
My office?
Sure. Take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with.
Could you mean Maya?
Oh, that's so weird. He's replacing Maya. That's so...
No.
Still, looks like we're all out of moves now.
I pray for the rest of the trilogy that's not true.
Yeah. Chief Gans done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand?
It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify.
Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said.
But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Risks? What did he mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true.
I'm assuming Lana. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Oh, no, it's Emma. Sorry.
Oh.
Emma, you okay?
Yeah. When I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
I've always wanted to kill someone. I'm glad I got to finally have my shot. And
I mean,
I'm not really going to be that punished for it. Win-win, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. This power, I don't know.
Before,
She has, like,
I was just going to use these vials to create a potion that could destroy mankind, but now
Yeah.
I've not got that bloodlust. It's great. It feels like it's zapped out of me.
Yeah, electricity, like, and you know when he exploded earlier,
Yeah.
he had like an electricity explosion moment. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
She gets one of those too.
Yeah. Relieved?
In a cloud of smoke. Yeah. Yeah. No, I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by the terrible man. And she did it all, just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders? She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the Chief told her to do.
That must be why she became so cold.
It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. You want to blame anyone? Blame society, pal. We live in a society. Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with this forgery. But you can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see.
Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act.
Oh! Emma, why don't you wait here?
No, I'm going with you. I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this.
Hold me close, I'll save my sister.